When God calls you to something, He is never going to leave you unprotected. Let's read Isaiah 43 together. But now thus saith the Lord that created thee, O Jacob, and he that formed thee, O Israel, fear not, for I have redeemed thee. I have called thee by name, thou art mine. When thou passest through the waters, I will be with thee, and through the rivers, they shall not overflow thee. When thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burned, neither shall the flame kindle upon thee. For I am the Lord thy God, the Holy One of Israel, thy Saviour. I gave Egypt for thy ransom, Ethiopia and Seba for thee. Since thou wast precious in my sight, thou hast been honorable, and I have loved thee. Therefore I will give men for thee, and people for thy life. You are precious to God. You are valuable. And there is nothing that He will not do for you. And if He has called you to something, and He says He's going to protect you, He's going to provide, He's going to see you through, He will. God always keeps His promises. If you stumbled across this video, you felt called to watch it. Likely it's because there's this calling that you feel that God has been trying to continuously get your attention and nudge you forward and show you something. But maybe you've been afraid to take that leap of faith. Maybe you've been afraid to, take that job, to start your own business, to move across the country, to give that friend another chance, to end a long-term relationship that's going nowhere. There's something you're being called to do. Maybe you're being called to step into some kind of authoritative or leadership role that maybe you don't feel like you're prepared for. Maybe God is calling you to step into being an influencer on social media and reach or talk to multitudes of people, but you're too nervous or worried to do it. Maybe you're like me. For me, if you're new here, I used to be a tarot reader, and it was a full-time career for me. And when I gave it up and I followed God, we lost more than 40% of our income. And I'm so relieved. Obviously, we had things to think about and to figure out, but God provides. And now I feel called to help people in a new way. And it was terrifying. I'm not going to lie to you, it was terrifying. But I knew it was the right thing to do, and I finally stopped running. And I can't tell you the peace, the burden that was lifted off my shoulders when I just gave it to God and said, you're in the driver's seat, tell me where we're going. I'm just here for the ride. Whatever you want me to do, Lord, show me the way. And it's freeing. But God is calling you to something, and you're afraid of doing it. I want to take you to Jeremiah as well. I want to go to verse 11. For I know the thoughts I think towards you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. God has a plan and a purpose for you. In Isaiah, he's saying, I called you by name. I hand selected you for this calling. No one else can step in and fill your shoes. You're unique. God can use anyone for His purpose, and He picked you. He's calling you to something specific. How many times in the Bible did someone get called to something they didn't feel they were ready for? But God knew. God knew He could use them. God knew they could do it. God has a plan for you. He has a purpose for your life. He's calling you to something bigger than yourself. He'll be with you. He's assuring you nothing's going to harm you, not when God is for you. Let's go to Romans. And we're going to go to 8:28. And it says, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are called according to His purpose. God works all things for His good. Sometimes you can feel like doors are closing and you don't understand why. Like things were going fine at that job. Why did I get fired? Why did it not work out? If, you really wanted that promotion, or you wanted that relationship to work out, or you wanted that friendship to succeed, you wanted something to work out in your life. That prayer went unanswered. You don't understand why. You feel like you're stepping into the unknown. Maybe that delay or that failure was a purpose. Maybe it was a blessing in disguise. And I want you to think about this. Think about the ways that God has already proved to you that He can and will provide and protect you. Because I'm sure there's at least one instance in your life that you can think of where you were protected from something that at the time you thought you really wanted. I can think of so many personal ones, but just kind of reflecting back, thinking about how many times I really wish that I could befriend the popular kids at school. But then later on, I was grateful that I didn't befriend those people because I saw what they did to their actual friends. They backstabbed them, they gossiped, they weren't good influences, they led them to sin, they led them to drink and to experiment with drugs and all of these things. And I'm grateful that I wasn't invited into their circle, because even if I wouldn't have fallen into that temptation, it's also not what I want to be around or the kinds of people I want to be around. Maybe God protected you from that friendship or ended that friendship because that person was going down a path you couldn't and shouldn't follow, right? Maybe you didn't get that job because they don't treat their employees well. Maybe there was something even better God had for you. You just couldn't see it yet. How many times in your life have you thought about, I'm so glad that I didn't take that first job offer because this one's even better that came in unexpectedly. Or, that relationship that didn't pan out, but then you met somebody who was the love of your life. And if you had been with that past person or that ex, you would have never had the chance or opportunity to meet the love of your life. Somebody who values you, loves you, respects you. A lot of times these unanswered prayers are blessings in disguise. Our heart, our flesh just can't see it right away. So I'm willing to bet there is more than one occasion that if you really sat and thought about it, that God has provided for you and He has protected you and He will continue to do so. Let's go to Psalm 32. And we're going to verse 8. I will instruct thee and teach thee in the ways which thou shalt go. I will guide thee with mine eyes. God will guide you. He will be with you. He's not going to abandon you. If He's calling you to something, you need to trust in Him. Because when you finally do that, it is so freeing. You feel this weight lifted off your shoulders, off your mind, off your heart, just giving it to God. You ever heard that song, Jesus, Take the Wheel? That's what I've been going around saying to myself. Every time there's a situation that I cannot control and I see people getting upset by similar situations, or they're overwhelmed, they're crying, and I'm not saying I don't get like that at times. We're human. These are human emotions. We're going to feel that way. But I'm just kind of like, throw my hands up. I'm giving it to God. Jesus, take the wheel. I'm not in the driver's seat. I am here. Whatever you want to do, use me, God. I am here. I will, do whatever you ask me to do. I'm giving it to God. I'm trusting that God will see me through, because He has proven time and time again that He keeps His promises. He has proven to me personally that He can and will provide and protect me. And He will do the same for you. If He is calling you to something, stop running. Slow down, breathe, pray, connect with God, read the Word, and trust and reflect. Think about all those times He has already seen you through a situation that you didn't think there was any way through. And I hope this helps somebody.